For this craft, you're going to need 5 or 6 of the square coasters that are glass from the Dollar Tree. The reason I say 5 or 6 is you can put one on the bottom. I am not putting one on the bottom. I'm going to be making a small present to put on my table for Christmas. So what I'm going to do right now is glue down the one side with a generous amount of glue. Take another one and line them up just like that. You could use E6000 or other glue, but for the purpose of this video, I am just using my hot glue. So, whoops. It might be better with the E6000. So, generous amount. I'm going to lay this flat, putting a lot on, and then I'm going to hold this as close to the edge as possible for it to hold. So I'm trying to wait for the glue to get hard. So that's one side. Alright. Now I'm going to do this side right here. Putting quite a bit of hot glue on the edge. I did clean the coasters prior to doing this. I'm most likely going to have to clean them again. So right now all I'm doing is trying to let it get hot. I mean cool off. Geez, get hot, it already is hot. So that it will hold. Trying to give it a little bit of time to cool down the glue so it will adhere. I'm going to add a little bit more glue on the inside of both sides. And then with my finger protector, I'm going to rub it closer to the glass where I want it to be adhered. You're not going to see inside, so you can put on as much glue as you'd like. So I'm going to let that sit for a couple minutes or seconds. And then I have this other one, so I'm going to add glue on both sides and glue it on the top. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. Here it is. Glue down the top and then the bottom, and then to stick it on. It is not lined up perfect, so that's what I'm trying to do right now. That's why I'm moving it around, and unfortunately the glue is drying before I do that, so I'm gonna have to turn it over gently and work on the inside. You want it lined up as close as possible to the edge while you're doing this. And if you have to take the glue off that's on there because it's making too much of a mess, then you go right ahead and do that. Because I'm going to have to take this glue off. Right here, the glue that has dried, I'm going to take that off and put some more glue down. Same with this side. This glue dried already, so I'm going to take this off. I just don't want a big gap between everything. Gonna let that cure a little bit. Trying to get all the little wispies off from the glue. This you can peel right off once it's hard. You could use an X-Acto knife, which would probably be the best. So now that I think it's secure everywhere, you want it to be as flat as possible, and this is the flattest part it is. So now I want to put this on top. So you're going to have to do this very, very quickly if you're doing it with hot glue, because you don't want the glue to dry as you're doing it. So quick, 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 quick. Put this on top. I'm going to give it a little time, and then I'm going to go on the inside. So I'm going to clean this up and show you what it looks like. Here's the box. I cleaned off the glass. Of course, when you touch it, it doesn't really work out. So now, what I'm going to do is, I got this at the Dollartree. Everything I get at the Dollartree. This ribbon. I'm going to, when you peel the back, it sticks. So I'm going to put hot glue on that, stick it right in this corner for my present. Right there. I have flowers and leaves. I'm going to cut these pieces off. I'm going to take this lovely flower, put some glue on the back, put it right here. Then I'm going to put some glue on here and stick it I have these little berries. I'm going to stick in the middle of my flower. There's a hole there. So here is the present. It's very heavy. You can put it outside, and I think it looks really cool. You can put it on the end of a table, near your buffet, wherever you'd like. For the second DIY, I have this really adorable, cute candy cane and peppermint candies charging plate tray. It's called a tray. I call it a charger plate. I have 2 of the small trash cans. I'm going to be making a very cute little end table with the plate, the charger plate. I did not have white zip ties, so I painted these white. This is a very easy craft. If you're going to use this through the holiday and want to continue to use it, I would use E6000. I am going to use zip ties, and also I am using hot glue. So for this project, you want to take the trash can, turn it upside down, make sure that it is flattened out, because it could have gotten bent up a little bit on your way home. And then I'm putting this one right on top. So with the zip ties, I have 4 of them. I'm going to be putting it through one trash can, through the other trash can, I'm not going to pull it all the way tight just yet, because I don't want it off centered. Not sure if the white's going to work out. It might all come off where I painted it. Not sure, but it'd be best to get white zip ties, or paint them when it's already on there. So that's one of the zip ties. I'm going to go around a little bit. So don't do what I did. Don't paint them prior to using them. Paint them when it's what's left on there after you cut it. So there's 2. You want to make sure you get in between both of the trash cans. You would think it'd be easier than this, but it's not that hard either. And then I'm going to put one more right over here. You just want it as secure as possible. And the reason I didn't want to pull the zip tie all the way through right off the bat is so that it didn't lean to the one side. You can put as many zip ties as you'd like, and as you can see, I took the white paint right off. So I would wait until you're done before you paint them. Now I'm cutting off the excess of the zip tie. Now I don't want anybody, my granddaughter or anybody, getting hurt by these parts of the zip tie that are sticking out, like right here. So I'm going to try to push it in so that it doesn't scratch anybody if they walked by. The charger plate is a lot bigger, but I just like to be safe, especially when it comes to my grandbaby. So this is what it should look like. 2 trash cans upside down on each other. Then take your plate, whatever plate you want, your charging plate, your very large tray, whatever you want to call it, and you can use E6000, anything you'd like. So I want to be able to let you see what I'm doing. I am going to put hot glue around the edge up here, all the way around, and then I'm going to put the plate on. My suggestion is, if you want to use this more than one time, E6000, Gorilla Glue, I have E6000. It takes about 24 hours for the E6000 to dry. So for this, you should do E6000 and hot glue. You can't put the hot glue on top of the E6000 because it won't, for some reason it doesn't. So just do it sporadically with the E6000 and the hot glue. So now I'm trying to put E6000 on, and for some reason it is not coming out. Of course it's not. Okay, got it open. There it is. There's the E6000 coming out. So, going to put E6000 on here every so many inches. I would also reinforce down here with your E6000, right down here, where you put them together, so that it is more secure. So back up to the top. There we go. Let me push up a little further. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm putting E6000 around the top. Now I'm going to put the lid back on. Wherever there is no E6000 is where I'm going to put the hot glue. So just so you understand that it takes a while for it to cure. And then try to go as centered as possible on the top. And then hold it down so that the glue adheres to your plate. I would put something to hold it down. So what I did was I took our present we just made. To hold that down, now while that is doing its thing of adhering, I'm going to come down here. See where this is together? I have this very pretty ribbon that, of course, I got at the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is go around the two trash cans, and then I'm thinking of a bow or some embellishments. Let's start with the ribbon. I'm going to put hot glue on the ribbon. Hold that a little bit till it cools off. Wrap it around. Come back to where you started, right about here. You could put lights inside of your trash cans. You could put a scenery of whatever you like. I just wanted mine to look a little, not plain, but I just didn't want a lot going on for me. So there's that with the ribbon. Okay, I am not the best bow maker, but I am going to give it a shot. Here's my ribbon. I don't think I'm going to want tails hanging down from my ribbon, but I don't know. It's a guess. So, thinking a decent size bow. I'm just overlapping. Overlapping. Now, however many, like here's two. So you want as many ribbon loops on each side as you'd like. I think I'm just going to use to the end of this ribbon, because I'm thinking a big bow. I have 4 loops on both sides, and I'm going to scrunch it in the middle, and you can use either a zip tie or a staple or a Chanel stem, whatever you have on hand. I have, thinking a very small hair accessory, because I have a lot of hair accessories. So I'm using a hair accessory, and I am putting it around said bow. Now I'm going to fluff it out. So see, I have 4 ribbons of the bow on each side. Hoping this turns out the way I'd like it to. It might not, because like I told you, I am not a very good bow person. But at least I tell you the truth. I'll own that I am not a good bow person. So right now I'm just trying to fluff up the bow. And I'm going to stick it in the middle where the seam is. Hot glue. Stick it in the middle. Hold on to it so that it adheres. Still holding on to it. Still holding on to it. Just want to make sure it adheres. I have these balls in different colors. I am going to put some in the middle of the bow, and let's see how that turns out. A little bit of hot glue. I want to cover that hair accessory for sure. I'm thinking white because of the candy canes and the peppermints. A little bit more hot glue. There's 2. Now that it's secure, I can mess with my bow a little more. I have a lot of embellishments that I've had over the years, and I'm going to work on using some of them. I have these little leaves I'm going to tuck behind the bow to give it a little bit of different color, dimension. Up in there. Get my finger protector because I really don't want to burn myself. That helps a little more because then I can hold it where I want it. Trying to find thinking some of this gold in there, but that's what I want to do. I'm going to curl it around my finger, pull it apart, and I'm going to put this in here also. Pull it apart a little more. Some hot glue, finger protector. I'm going to wait till that dries some before I start moving it around. I also have it in red. Same thing. Around my finger, just like so. Pull it up. Hot glue, finger protector, right in there. Once these start to dry, then you can move them around, or while you're holding it, you can move it around. I don't really want it sticking out because I don't want it to poke anybody, but I do want it like up in the air, like where it's going. See how it's going up? I'm going to do that again to the gold one because I don't think I held it long enough. And that's how the bow looks. I don't think I have more of that same green. So I'm going to leave it just like that. Oh, my Lanta. I'm thinking I need a little bit more glue up here for the gold one, because the gold one I don't believe has enough glue. Keeps being wonky. I'm just going to hold that. For this next craft, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I have 4 of these cloth placemats. So I wanted to make a table runner. The other day I made a blanket, like a throw, to go over my couch or on my bed. So while I was doing that, I was like, hey, I can make a table runner out of it to spruce up a table and make it look festive. So I went and got 4 of the Merry Christmas with the tree because I thought they were beautiful. And I used glue tape because I cannot use a sewing machine. I have one. I'm not very good at it. You can use glue tape. Not glue tape, ironing tape. And that takes a little bit of time. I am going to use my hot glue gun. So what I'm going to do is place these together. I'm going to get the hot glue and put it generously on the edge of my cloth mat. I'm, of course, when this is over, going to hand stitch in here so that everything is staying together. But right now, I am gluing 2 together. I'm going to have a total of 5, or 4, my bad, 4 for my table. So all I'm doing is gluing the 2 ends together, like I showed you. It's going to stick to your workstation. Just pull it up gently. So I have 2 together so far. Now I'm going to put the 3rd one on. So I'm going to go down the seam again, just like I did on the first 2. Just like that. Flip the next one over. Lay that flat. And glue the ends of these 2 together. And I'm using my finger protectors as to not burn myself to put them together. Now, if you don't think it's sticking too well, you could always add more glue, which I believe I'm going to do because it's not very stuck right here. Because you would like it secure for the holidays. I suggest putting some stitches in like I'm going to do, and that way it'll stay together. You can fold it up nicely, put it away, and have it for next year. Finger protectors. And I'm just patting down the glue to make sure that it adheres to the other mat. Like I said, it will stick to your surface. And what I'm doing right now is rubbing it off. You can get a scraper or something to get all the glue off, which I will when I am done. So now I have one more. Turn it upside down. And glue the edge to the other edge. Trying to hold it together while I pat it. Give it a couple seconds to dry. And I'm leaving little glue fragments which I can take off. And this is the upside down part, so you won't really see that. So I'm just brushing as I go to get the excess glue off and put it together. As I said, it will stick to your table or whatever work surface you're working on. And when I lifted it, this part came apart. What I'm going to do here is hold this up while it glues, while the glue hardens, so that it doesn't stick to the table again right there, my work surface. Easy peasy. I love easy crafts that make your house look high-end and all finished, because I really like to do pretty much every room in my house. My kids love when I go in their room and start decorating. They just really love that. I'm being sarcastic. They do not love that. Okay? This is what the table runner looks like when it's done. All ready for Christmas. Inexpensive, $4. That's all. $4. As long as your table is, you could add more or less. I think it's really kind of awesome. $4 table runner when you could spend quite a bit of money on a table runner at another store. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you'll come back and see more of my crafts. Please subscribe. It helps YouTube. It helps my channel. I'm trying to get quite a few subscribers. And I hope you like the products I do for you. If you have anything you'd like to see me make or try to make, please leave a comment below and I will research it and figure out what you need me to do to make the craft you'd like to see come into fruition. Thanks so much. Have a blessed day.